Oh my God, I have been gone for like 3 years off of YouTube. I've made like these videos every once in a while, but I've not been consistent. I'm gonna explain to you exactly why, what's going on in the hair system world, how you can actually get hair systems a lot cheaper, all this good stuff. This is gonna be a super more personal video though, so this is not a video if you're just getting introduced to hair systems. Like, it's gonna be about Jake, it's not gonna be about hair systems. You guys ready? Well, welcome to the final form, the final Pokemon form of Jake Kent. Guys, I got a selfie stick. I feel like the final, like, senile boss of myself. But check this out. We're in Medellin, Colombia. It is so stinking pretty. This is actually my apartment that I'm living in right here. Yes, pretty baller. It is 2 stories. MTV Cribs, welcome to my place. No, I'm joking. But listen, guys, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on over the past couple of years and the new trajectory. Obviously, not just for myself, but like a hair systems, how you can get stuff cheaper. But what happened over the past couple of years? You know, it took me a long time to integrate what happened over the past little bit of my life, and that's also directly about why I disappeared, I guess, if any of you guys care about it. So we're gonna start at the beginning and then walk towards kind of what the new mission is, and ultimately how that affects you, how you guys get free systems, all that kind of stuff, right? So in short, by the way, if you just want to skip to that kind of stuff, I'm probably going to put a marker down below so that way you can just see, like, how do you get free stuff? How do you get free stuff, okay? All right, so here's the deal. It's been about 3 years, almost exactly 3 years since I had some pretty crazy stuff happen. It's 3 years plus, so January, about 3 years ago, I went and I drank ayahuasca. Did that because I was feeling really, really depressed. I was kind of suicidal as a teenager. I was suicidal. There's no kind of. Because I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, very, very depressed. Didn't feel like I could be myself. It caused a whole bunch of issues. Let's not get into that. But it all kind of came back. I had managed my depression and my psychological issues through my 20s, just through exercise, nutrition, through routine and sleep. That was my protocol. And as I got, into, I would say, 29, right? I was making more money than I ever made. I had a girlfriend that, I loved. And I woke up one day. I remember I woke up one day and I was like, I should kill myself. And I was like, whoa, that's not a good thought. We need to do something. I didn't want to take medications or do anything. That's not really my jam. It's not what I like. So I think, I could be wrong. I think she actually suggested to me, like, hey, have you tried ayahuasca? She had tried it before, and at first I didn't really want to do it. I did a consult. I watched a bunch of documentaries. I watched a consult, or had a consult, excuse me. And can you guys hear that thunder? That's crazy. I love Medellin. It's so green. Look at all this stuff. Anyways, I had a consult with Rhythmia, which is a place in Costa Rica, and I was like, absolutely not gonna do it. No way in hell. I don't want to do this. I was like straight edge. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs or anything. And I woke up in the next morning and I felt like, hey, I got it. So I went there, had some really big breakthroughs psychologically that I would say changed things for me. But my life changed that week. I came home and I received an email from the person that I was with in my media agency, and basically ended my media agency just like that. So all my income went away. And then I also had broken ties with all of the sponsorships that I was doing, which helped, support me, make content every single day on YouTube, to actually partner up with Hair Club. This is the first time I'm talking about the Hair Club, because we wanted to build a brand specifically designed for basically European males, people like maybe, well, at least me, people in the United States that had thinner densities. It was designed, the systems were designed like that, were marketed for that, but ultimately would just be way, way better than what was out there. So I broke all of my contracts with them. And a month into basically them saying like, hey, you gotta break these contracts, I was working with the CEO, all this kind of fun stuff. Guess what happened? They canceled it. So I went from having, decent income and money to absolute after this ayahuasca journey, which psychologically changed me. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to survive. And then a little bit later, I had to break up with my girl. Not gonna get into it. Hi, honey, if you're still watching. Every once in a while, she comes and makes a fun little comment. And that was interesting. She's married now. Hope she's doing the best. I hope you're so happy. When all this stuff happened, I was like really psychologically broken. Like I could not eat, I could not sleep, I could not do anything. And during that first phase, I was expecting to come back after I kind of like recovered a little bit, and I did try. But what was really interesting is as I tried to come back, as I tried to make videos, as I tried to get back into systems, it was actually really psychologically painful to do so, because it just kept on bringing up the old memories of like everything that had happened. Like it all felt associated, and I was like, what's the point? I had this big mission of helping men, and not that this happened, but psychologically, the mission of hair systems, what happened with Hair Club, what happened with my ex, all got wrapped up in this kind of like, what's the effing point of this? You're not helping anybody. You're just trying to give, and look what happens when you give. You just wind up empty and alone. And every time I started trying to make content or do stuff, I kept on getting left feeling, and it just felt horrible. But you know, like there's always been like kind of that core and that root inside of me that's wanted to get back to it, but it's just been like blocked, you know, it's been stuck. So, you know, over the past couple of years, I made it a couple attempts, right? Like when I went to Bali, I started making a couple of videos about traveling the world, and I did a couple more. Over the past 3 years, I probably made, I don't know, 10 videos. I was making like 2 to 3 videos a week. My pace completely changed, right? So during that time, you know, I had to do a lot of healing and a lot of reorienting my life, to be completely candid. You know, I got into high ticket sales, was great. You know, I made more money than I ever made, learned a lot of lessons, made some super amazing, it's really changed my life, and it's been good. And since then, you know, once again, in that space, I was giving and trying to be the best person I could for other people. And I kept on seeing that the businesses that I would work for were not necessarily taking care of customers the way that I was telling them they were going to be taken care of, because they were telling me that. And that caused another like fracture inside of my life. Man, what am I doing? And I actually stepped away. I stepped away from the job where I was making the most, because I was having people come back to me and saying like, I spent $30,000 with it after an hour conversation with you, which, by the way, I'm so glad that I have skills to make something like that happen. I'll take it with me forever. But they were like, yeah, and it's not what you said it was. You know, there's no refunds on this. And that made me like, not just sad, but I was like, I can't be complicit. So I actually left it. And that was about like maybe a year and a half ago. No, like a year. And I had a couple snafus with different people trying to start businesses. I tried to start like an AI company that was sales. I made the technology work. It's actually pretty incredible. But in terms of the marketing, I couldn't get to work. I tried to build something that was really interesting called pre-influence, which is, I mean, it's pretty interesting stuff, but getting people sold before they ever get on a call. And I had some people that I helped. I helped a guy go from $0 a month to making over $20,000 a month. He was somebody that had fallen on hard times, and I basically gave him all the opportunity. And the guy went from zero, like his wife left him with his kid, he was in debt, all this kind of stuff, to making $20K a month. And he was supposed to, you know, build this business with me. And then he left after I, you know, broke some of my engagements with other people. So, you know, I've been sorting that kind of stuff out in my life, my work life, while at the same time, like trying to find myself. I've continued the spiritual work, you know, meditation and being true to myself, psychology, and yes, plant medicine, ayahuasca has been a part of that consistently. I probably sat in like 25 to so ceremonies, which some of you are going to hear and be like, this guy's off his freaking rock. And maybe I am, I don't know. But, you know, in this process, I've learned so much about myself, and I think you guys can see it probably too. The people that have been on this channel, I look a lot happier. I actually think I look a lot younger too. It's interesting how that happens, but I digress. But a lot of gifts have come out of it, and I feel a lot happier, a lot more content, and my life is really becoming something incredible. You know, in the past couple of years, obviously learned how to sell. I'll never have to worry about money again, which is something my entire childhood. I grew up in poverty, picking up cans on the side of the road. Always worry about. I never have to worry about that. I always wanted to learn Spanish. I know Spanish. Like, I'm conversational in Spanish. Cool. After a year, I put my work into it. You know, I've been living across the world for the past 2 years. Crazy to think about. Gosh, I've lived a life that is super special. It's super special. That's all I've got to say about it. And it just gets better. It just gets better and better and better as I just continue to kind of like surrender into what my life is. And I want to talk about one of the gifts. This brings us back to the hair. So, you know, before I basically took my hiatus or left or had my big snafu, my big collapse in life, I did something randomly by somebody's suggestion, and I started a hair system subreddit. If you guys don't know what Reddit is a place, forums for everything. People talk about everything, and everything has a subreddit, which is like its own private community. And I happened to start one just on a whim. And, you know, now, like over the past 3 years, it just hit 28,000 members, which is crazy. It grew faster than my YouTube channel, and it's all community sourced. Like, you know, I have 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I made every single video. And obviously the subscribers, you guys felt like you wanted to engage, and that you were getting value or that you felt heard or seen, and I loved it. But it also relied on me continuing to make content, right? And engage. And Reddit is 28,000 people that have joined that, like, the amount of posts every single day is mind-boggling. There's like, I don't know, there's got to be like 30 to 50 posts a day of people asking questions or showing what their systems look like or how things are. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm actually, I think I'm most proud about that, and the work that we've done is this subreddit. It's like I think it's either the number 4 or the number 8 or number 9 biggest men's like beauty or men's fashion Reddit on one of the biggest sites in the world. Like, it's freaking nuts. And anyways, over the past in I think like November or something, I had an idea. And I was like, well, Livivid gives me wholesale prices because I had the ability to order for people. It was just like a really smooth thing. So I didn't have contracts with them anymore, but I still had the wholesale thing. So I was like, well, why don't I just use this to get people at least cheaper system? And I did. And since then, I've probably ordered hundreds and hundreds since like November of systems for people. All they do is they go on Reddit, pin post at the top, shows my prices, which are lower than anywhere else. They send me an email. They send me the money, I order it to them, and it arrives at their door within like, you know, usually 5 to 9 days for cheaper. That's a win if I've ever heard of. Livivid sells more hair systems, which I actually think that they're some of the best. I really do. It's the truth. I take like a little commission off of that. Yes, facilitating it. You guys get hair systems for cheaper. Everybody wins. It's great. So, you know, that's part of what's going on. Livivid has started to sponsor some of my videos on here again, which I'm happy to do. You know, they give me so much liberty to talk about whatever I want to talk about, because they know that you guys trust. They know that you guys, like, when you watch a video here, that I've always had that personal kind of touch with you. And in the comments, right, we've heard every sort of thing that, like, Jake is off his rocker, like, what is this guy on? Man, the way he talks, I've heard it all. But they trust that I have a relationship and that I'm going to do right by the industry, which is pretty dang. So you'll probably see some sponsored videos here. But, you know, I really have a desire. I still want to help the hair community. If anything, I feel like I've really processed a lot of the events that happened, and I feel free, open to start really creating again for you. So yes, that's videos and showing you what my life looks like. I just recorded a video that'll go up soon about like a little motorcycle trip for 6 days that I did in Costa Rica with my friend. You know, rugged off-roads, man, super hot, like 90-degree weather, beach runs, like in the mountain. It is just incredible. And I can show you that and show you that hair systems hold up. I can show you what it's like to be I don't like the word digital nomad because I don't travel that much, but that I travel all over the world. I don't have anything that's really steady, and I still do this. I travel in a suitcase, a carry-on, and a back, and I'm still here cooking, baby. It's great stuff. So I'm excited to show you this, but also just to show you more of me. Like, I'm gonna make hair system videos, but I'm gonna show you more of me, who I am, every single part of it. And I'm also gonna try to find ways to make the hair system community better. You know, our voices have been heard when it comes to things like, you know, the antimicrobial stuff. We were talking about this like 5 years ago on and part of me wishes that that I went and I invented. But you know, Levivid has that now, antimicrobial system to prevent bacterial growth. You know, if you're wearing a hair system, they have that now. And there's so many small ways that we can improve these systems. And I want to leave my mark inside of the space. I really do. I want to, whether it's a product or something that actually gives value, I really want to create that. So, you know, that's kind of some of the stuff that's going to be going on. I'm still doing sales and entrepreneurship and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, what I've realized, you know, my mom is always right. Like, my mom is always, she's told me many times that, like, there's some kind of gift me in the hair. Not that I'm like the chosen. I don't mean it like that. The chosen one. But what I mean is that for some reason, when I talk about it, there's a certain level of clarity, and maybe she's blowing smoke up on me. But I think that she was right, that there's some kind of mark that I'm meant to live or leave inside of this. And I plan on trying to figure out, you know, exactly, I guess, what that is. So, you know, in terms of on Reddit, you can go get those systems cheaper, right? Easy thing to do. Engage in the Reddit community, of course. But let's figure out this stuff together. Let's make it a good, you know? And you know what, guys, that's about it that I got for you today. So I'm gonna leave you with beautiful Medellin backdrop. It's currently raining right now, so take a look at this right here. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'll leave you with the final thought. Go out, create the life that you want. Don't let anybody tell you can't have it, and never settle to be treated as less than you are, which is freaking phenomenal.